Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. I'm suffering.
Same.
Aren't we all?
Not
This
really.
is why I dislike the summer.
Well, I mean, it would be fine if my AC wasn't broken.
Windows 10 says it's 18 degrees where I am, but it feels like it's 30 in my office.
For those that don't know, he's talking about Celsius.
My name is Anakiel.
Because I am not an American.
Laterano. Although I'm not yet certified.
Metric system.
Is Celsius considered metric?
Yes.
It's at least SI.
Okay.
It's SI, but not. I think it's kind of in this weird state where it's SI, but not quite metric. But it's really a formality because centigrade is kind of the same system anyway.
Yeah.
No, I can't really shit on the metric system because I use it all the time for measurements.
It might be because a lot of stuff is just based on the metric system anyways. So you try to, use nice, stuff, and it's like, wait, using anything but the metric system here makes calculations way more complicated.
And plus, you could get more precise with the metric system.
I mean, you can.
I do better with centimeters over inches any day.
Yes. Yeah.
It's easier to run more precise calculations with metric. You can do it with imperial, but it's like the numbers get really weird really quickly.
Yeah, they do.
Is Cruz here too?
By the way, is anyone hearing any reverb from my end anymore?
Not really.
No.
Good. My change worked.
Yay.
Hooray.
So,
So Arknights.
any subjects we want to cover before we jump into something interesting?
I feel like I was going to say something, but that was days ago, and I have forgotten it now. So.
Arknights started its roguelike event,
Ooh.
so that's fun.
How is it?
It's really
Dokkan
fun.
Dokkan Battle is in the middle of the 7th anniversary, and premium currency and LRs are falling from the sky.
Like, if you take a glance at the gaming channel in the Sardonic server, that's basically all that anyone's been talking about today. And also, Phoenix, since you do have an Arknights account, I would recommend logging in today and claiming the daily reward, because there is a very good chance that the operator that you get from the daily login is not ever coming back.
Okay.
And yeah, on that note, if you're interested, Nate, you can log into Dokkan today and claim like 250 stones.
Oh boy.
And a bunch of other stuff. The anniversary banners are pretty crazy because there's 7 LRs on each of them.
One thing I wish with Dokkan is that you could use Japanese voices for everyone except Goku.
Except what?
Goku.
Probably like an APK patch for that somewhere.
Maybe. Because for the most part, I do prefer the Japanese voices, but for some reason they didn't change voice actors between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z for Goku.
What?
Yeah. So in Japanese, Goku just still has his kid voice.
And it gets even more kid-like when you consider Gohan and Goten.
Yeah.
I guess Masako Nozawa is so much of a legend in Japan that they didn't want to change anything.
Probably.
So, yeah, other than gaming news, or rather gacha gaming news, what's going on?
Well, should we put up a spoiler tag before I even bring up any subjects?
No.
This is
we're talking
huge what
about
happened
that.
this week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's huge what happened this week.
I haven't looked
That way
at any of it, and To be completely honest, I don't really care about leaks anymore. At least not for a while. So
At any of the leaks, to be honest.
Oh no,
Or
these
at least for
ones were
another couple
real.
of months in Kuda's case.
Like, not because I want to be surprised. No, don't get things twisted. I just don't care. I'm
Yeah.
too lazy.
Yeah.
that's kind of me right now. I just do not care anymore. Is there
Are you
such a thing
curious
as
about?
oversaturation?
Well, considering we're in a bit of a drought of information, it was pleasant to say the least.
I wouldn't call any of this a drought.
Well, I'm so used to say Sun and Moon's release date thing, or not release date. Or it was basically news every other week where they had the whole game explained by the end of the day.
Hmm.
Oh, but no. If you haven't been on the internet, for those watching, a good chunk of Scarlet and Violet leaked out.
Yeah, I saw stuff about it. I didn't really dig into
I
it at all.
consumed everything that popped out. Just
And
it was
knowing the
interesting.
Pokemon community at large, most of the reaction was probably negative.
Far opposite, actually. Everyone loved it.
Wow, for once.
And they're a little confused by the gimmick, but the
That's
rest,
like
even
the first time this has happened in like the past 12 years.
It's weird that Scarlet and Violet are being so well welcomed after the whatchamacallit remakes.
Diamond Pearl.
Diamond and Pearl.
It's a
Sword
welcome
and Shield.
change. Don't get me wrong.
I think Pokemon
I
fans
was
are just
really,
desperate.
really getting tired of Pokemon Twitter just being full of people slinging shit at each other for liking games the other person doesn't like.
Yeah.
That's most communities sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, I know. I used to frequent the Sega forums and talk about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I was about to say, you used to be in Sonic fandom.
Doesn't mean I can't get tired of it.
Yeah.
And weren't the Sega forums like particularly toxic sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They were fucking terrible.
But, like, I'm shocked, and I kind of fear for this guy who leaked it all out. 'Cause you know damn well the ninjas are going to go get him.
Eh.
Nintendo ninjas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
You laugh, but that's a real thing.
I know,
I mean, not-
that's why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I mean,
This guy is-
really, what it'll be is they'll say, all right, we are never going to let you do any play testing or review copies ever again, you know?
Mhm.
If they can
And
even
it's
figure out
just-
who he is.
I'm sure they'll. Well, he blurred the images so bad. I doubt they'll be able to get anything off of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah,
I mean,
Nintendo has
ultimately,
the rights.
it comes down to they know where all the review copies, where all the play testing copies went. So, you know,
Yeah, they
once
just
you
have to
know
find.
that,
And you can just narrow it down by who chose Sprigatito as their starter.
Like, this is why it really blew my mind when I saw, like, that this is kind of a mini tangent, but it still has to do with, like, game development on proprietary hardware. This is why it really blew my mind when I saw that Linus had uploaded a video detailing in, like, excruciating detail the original PlayStation 3 development kit.
wow.
Like, first of all, how did he convince someone to let him get his hands on one of those? Because I'm not talking the version they sent out to fucking third-party developers. No, this was the in-house one.
Wow.
How? How did he get his hands on that without the person who gave him it being sued by Sony and him being sued by Sony?
Who knows?
I know the person who leaked Sword and Shield during that time got sued to high heavens. With this one, I think the guy's going to go to jail.
Can you go to jail over NDAs?
Oh no.
I think
probably
you can.
not.
I think you can get sued.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So.
I'm pretty sure it's happened at least a couple of times, though. It doesn't happen often, but it's happened a few times. I know that.
And I know Nintendo isn't kind when they go after people who break NDAs.
What happens if you break a non-disclosure? Oh, here's something from Quora.
My stomach keeps growing.
Yeah, it looks like you can't go, like, it's very unlikely to go to jail for breaking an NDA.
Well, he's going to have a hefty fine then.
Yeah.
I know the ones who leaked Sword and Shield's guidebook, I think it was like over $100,000 fine. And legal fees.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm. And considering we're, I would say halfway to Scarlet and Violet.
So yeah, like the Sword and Shield thing, that was two different people that ended up getting sued.
Mm-hmm.
Because one was the guy and the other was one of the review copies.
This guy has destroyed his career doing any kind of playtesting for Nintendo.
Yeah.
All because they didn't release the trailer this week.
Somehow I get the feeling they still would have done it even if there was a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, they're not releasing enough information? Here, have this. And it's, like... It was very fun to read, and... There was one thing people were complaining about, though. About the stuff that was revealed.
Yeah.
About the gems, especially. If you don't mind me talking about it.
I don't mind.
Yeah. Honestly, I just prefer to not be held in suspense at this point.
Yeah.
The gems can be done in any order.
I mean, didn't we already suspect that?
Well, I mean, that's
people are complaining about that of all things.
No, it's because they don't scale. So level 8, the final gem will be.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, but then that's just Kanto.
Yeah. That's quite literally just Kanto. Which
Kanto
people
and
celebrate
Johto both
for
did that.
People think it's just because this game's early still, so they think it might change.
And also, let's not forget that people celebrate Kanto for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Johto.
I mean, I could.
People celebrate Johto for a bunch of reasons that it doesn't actually deserve.
Like, I can see there being a challenge is go to the final gym as the first gem you challenge.
I mean, you could argue.
Literally, nobody said that Pokemon fans weren't gigantic hypocrites.
You could also argue that BDSP did that. There is a glitch that, as early as the second gym, you could glitch past the guy that blocks you from Sunny Shore.
You can definitely argue that original Sinnoh did that with, tweaking and shit.
Tweaking is actually in BDSP, Dark.
That's fucking hilarious.
It literally is just an HD remake of it. Nothing else. No new mechanics, no nothing.
That's so funny.
That's why it was hated.
Well, I'm not even mad. They wanted to be faithful, and they decided to be the most faithful possible.
Argument. There were new mechanics. It's just that they were all in the underground.
The underground was great.
That area nobody ever used.
I mean, people really like the underground in BDSP because you can get things like early fucking Scyther and Gibble and Houndoom.
Mm-hmm.
Although,
and other
starters experience here, being the only person who had a copy of Platinum in like a 50-mile radius of my old house.
Yeah.
I had to borrow a friend of mine's DS to get Spiritomb by just repeatedly going up and down.
Yeah, I did something similar.
To put into perspective how dedicated I was back in the day, I did the Darkrai event on fucking dial-up.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But yeah, so I'm interested to see the gyms and how people are going to challenge themselves by going to the hardest gym first. And I guess there's like multiple endings to the game too.
That's why I don't understand why people are mad about this. It's like it's really good for challenge runs.
People expected level scaling. That's all.
I honestly wouldn't mind if they just left it that way because it makes the game more challenging.
Oh yeah, just skip go to the middle gem. Save the easiest to last. Do it all in reverse. That'd be a fun challenge.
Platinum was hard because its level curve was fucked.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. Okay.
Although I never really experienced the fucked level curve because I over-leveled all the time.
I only felt that level curve once I hit the Elite Four. And you go up against Cynthia. And it's just
I had mid-70s by the Elite Four, so it didn't really matter to me.
Yeah, I don't really remember my experience with the level curve as a kid.
Oh my god, too much garbage on my inventory. But it's I don't know. The last 2 days were very exciting, seeing it all on Twitter, and the new Pokemon. We're finally getting a Flamingo Pokemon after all this time.
And miraculously, Pokemon fans not hating the game wholesale after a leak.
Oh yeah, I know. I think it improved. Everyone's loving everything that leaked.
Distant Kingdom in shambles.
What?
Distant Kingdom. That old hat. That was the guy who shat on Sword and Shield relentlessly.
Oh. I shat on it pretty good too.
Over shit like shitty looking trees and bad ground textures that you will never look at.
I looked at the ground quite a bit though.
Point is, he shat on the game over minor shit compared to what was actually wrong with those games.
Oh yeah, there was a lot more wrong with it than just the graphics.
Yeah.
The graphics should just this is how bad the games are going to actually be. Take warning. Did I leave those?
But no, Scarlet and Violet actually look pretty damn good for an open world game on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. And I'm super excited for them. It's the fact that we're finally going to full open world. Like that.
And those, I will say this again, those character models look fucking amazing.
Yeah, they do. And I know some people complained about...
maybe Game Freak have finally figured 3D out.
I want to know, I think they had to definitely get someone an outside source to help them with this. There's no way. Because I think whoever made the new Pokemon Snap, I think they might have had a hand in helping with the graphics for this one.
Also, you never know. With how much Namco and Capcom have been helping Nintendo recently, it could have been one of them.
Definitely. Would not surprise
There's
me
one
a bit
thing
if that was
Namco and Capcom are really good at in their RPGs, it's graphics.
I wish Namco could have had some of that graphical expertise for the Klonoa remake.
And I wish Namco would have, actually fucking promoted it properly.
Yeah. Okay, the graphics are very pretty in the Klonoa remake, but they're lacking a lot of charm. They're just, I don't know. The lighting is off, the models are off, but not terrible, That said, I do recommend, people buying the game because I want more Klonoa.
Meanwhile, I am both looking forward to and not looking forward to the eventual release of Soul Calibur 7. First of all, I'm looking forward to it because it's going to come to PC, but I'm not looking forward to it because given how bad the frame rate on 5 and 6 were on fucking console, is it gonna run at like 10 FPS on next-gen consoles? Like, I bought Soul Calibur 5 on release, and that shit was a laggy mess. I loved it, but it was a laggy mess.
Just make a turn-based fighting game.
Jesus Christ.
How would that work?
I don't know.
It wouldn't.
I mean, can you make the argument that every RPG is a turn-based fighting game?
Yeah.
Except for some.
Okay, if you want a turn-based fighting game, you just play the Persona series.
Or, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what active time battle is.
Yeah, definitely. That's true. Damn, that needs a lot of decks.
Also, I do have a time for when I'll be flying back home. And oh boy, it's gonna be hectic.
Oh boy.
Because first of all, I'm flying through Newark again.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
So my flight, my journey starts at like 7:40 something in the evening, Pacific time on the 17th, which means I'll be arriving in the morning on the 18th, which is inconvenient for my mom and stepdad to pick me up. So I had an idea of taking the Amtrak, because there's an Amtrak station right near us. So I looked it up, the Amtrak from DC to where we live, and it's only like $26.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm going to be also taking an Amtrak that day.
Oh.
I will say, train travel is a blast.
Yeah, I've done it before.
It would be a blast in Canada if we actually had any fucking lines that didn't cost hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah, I've taken the Amtrak before from DC all the way to Washington, and it was really fun. But unfortunately, I caught something on the train, so halfway through, I was just miserable. Sinus infection, ear infection.
Bad air on a train. Not filtered good.
Yeah,
I swear to God, I get ear infections like every summer. I just had one.
I've been getting ear infections more common lately, like a few times a year at this point.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And recently you wouldn't know it right now, but recently my coughing issue has gotten worse too.
Oh no.
Which, by the way, I'm almost 100% certain is nothing to do with COVID, because COVID would have had to have existed for 7 extra years for that to be possible.
So do you mean like actual coughing fits, or the thing that I do where I clear my throat all the time?
Clearing my throat all the time and actual painful coughing fits.
Did you grow up with smokers?
Nope. Neither of my parents smoke.
Yeah, because I grew up with smokers, and I'm pretty sure that's why I have issues where I always clear my throat.
Yeah, I grew up around smoking too.
Same.
Which is why I hate it.
Same.
Now, the worst I grew up around was someone who was obsessed with trains and still is. I don't understand my dad. He's like, I'm going to take the truck and waste over $100 in gas for the hope of seeing a train within the next 5 or 6 hours.
Hey, I can't lie. I did the same thing when I was a kid with my grandfather, and I loved it. Train spotting was awesome when I was little.
See, I was forced into it, and I hated it.
Weird train kid as a kid. I think I will have, like, once I have my own house and a basement, I will have a giant table with a train set.
My dad
Making
used to have one
miniatures.
of those, but he had to sell his model train stuff when we moved to the old apartment.
Oh, that's sad. That stuff goes for a mint, too.
It was like the only thing I liked about his hobby because honestly, like model sets are cool regardless.
They are.
Yes.
My dad used to collect model race cars.
Ooh.
Those are awesome, too.
Yeah.
Any kind of miniature or model is just a blast. I'm sitting on so many I have to build.
So, slightly related to that, but that Namco is doing one thing right with Klonoa.
Oh?
They're releasing an Endoroid.
Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah. And, like, I feel like once it gets released, I'm probably going to buy it because Klonoa merch. What the fuck? Actual
Bandai Namco
Klonoa.
promoting something at all that isn't an anime property?
When we were doing that AI generated image thing, didn't I at one point try the prompt Klonoa Funko Pop or something?
Yes.
How cursed was it?
Not very.
Yeah, it was surprisingly not bad.
Huh.
There's something up there. This one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can just...
Currently, the object of my dad's misplaced frustration is the fact that both me and my mother have a Brita bottle and he doesn't. We'd get him one, but we don't have any money right now, and they're expensive. Especially the stainless steel ones, which are $40 here.
Oh. My mom got a similar thing to what I have, but just like a small cup version of it. She loves it, but I tell her not to put all these different kind of drinks in it. Because unless you wash it out perfectly, it's going to leave a little bit of a taste in it.
Yeah.
And it's like I strictly use my water
Especially
bottle.
if you have like a filtered liquid container, don't put shit like that in a filtered bottle or filtered jug because it'll ruin the filter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, while going up through the chat history, I saw the Guy Fieri, Rob Liefeld.
You should have tried Guy Fieri Funko Pop.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I think one actually exists.
Huh.
So you might just get like a picture of that.
Art of crucifixion of Jesus. I love how I'm looking at that one, and I love how in the background of one of them, it looks like there's just a JoJo character missing an arm standing there.
I mean, to be fair, there's a significant overlap between Rob Liefeld art and JoJo.
And on that note, JoJo and biblical stories.
Yeah.
How cursed can some of these things be?
Pretty cursed.
Although pretty much all the top row of Rob Liefeld art of Dr. Eggman has his head cut off.
Yeah.
I scrolled up a bit farther and saw something Kalian posted with him Toothless.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Also, just that cursed one where Toothless's face is just in the corner.
That's the one I'm laughing at.
Viewers are gonna be so confused.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
who cares?
viewers, you don't need to know this one.
Damn, the Klonoa Funko Pop one even got a box.
Yeah.
Laying out the welcome mat.
Mission accomplished.
Why are the Funko Pops the one that are the funniest?
Yeah. Oh, the funniest ones are actually the trail cam.
Oh no, those are cursed. Those are evil.
All right then. Toothless for the PS2. That was a good
I
one.
didn't
Darth
know.
Vader riding Toothless is making me laugh, only because 3 of them are T-shirts for some reason.
And like the rest of them are like action figures. I'm sorry, viewers, you're really confused right now.
Yeah.
Go play with Dolly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I think
Dolly
my,
Mini is the greatest thing.
yeah, I think my
Mhm.
favorite Dolly Mini prompt though is Fernando Botero art. So, Fernando Botero is I believe, Colombian? Yeah, a Colombian artist. And he has a distinct style where he draws very fat people,
Mhm.
very round things.
Right.
Mhm.
So, somehow, Dolly Mini just gets that perfectly. I don't know how.
Ah, I see why they don't put. Interesting. Sorry if I talk to myself randomly like that. I have started a new character in Diablo 2, and
No problem.
Of course, it wouldn't be a Dolly Mini run without something related to Amogus.
Okay, but Toothless Among Us is like legit. Like I want it in the actual Among Us.
I'm sure it'll get a skin eventually.
Among Us Hanukkah. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think that was from the subreddit.
About Buzz Lightyear. And it's just Buzz Lightyear without his helmet wearing a Venom mask.
I tried searching Protochroma, but it would only like produce images of bugs, which was interesting.
Maybe it's
Trick
telling you
Star
to
as
create
a stripper at a strip club.
Maybe it's telling you need to make a bug.
Oh god, that
bug
bottom right one is
protocol.
actually cursed.
Setting up.
You drop. Oh, I picked it up. Oh. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank on things to talk about.
Laying out the welcome
Yeah.
mat.
And I've went in the early game of Diablo. I just zone out so easily.
And I'm focusing on Arknights.
I'm focusing on playing as a werewolf.
Nice.
Ooh.
Did you know that you
I've
can be
never
a
played
werewolf
as a
in The
werewolf
Sims now?
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, they just came
It's
out with
not-
the werewolf pack.
I thought that's been out for a while. It wasn't it with werewolves and vampires?
No.
No.
That was
So in-
Sims 2.
No, Sims 3
Oh.
also did werewolves and vampires in the same pack. But Sims 4 did vampires first and then did werewolves very recently. And it is mildly cursed in that you can unlock a perk that lets you eat literally anything, including furniture. Including furniture that doesn't belong to you.
Oh, I can see the stories being written about a psychopath werewolf that just breaks into people's houses and eats them.
So, shout out to the YouTuber Call Me Kevin.
That's strange. Like, that's a... Why?
Sorry to interrupt, but what the hell have I just created?
Oh boy, did you do...
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck is in the top left there?
A man
Funny thing is,
bowing down to a trumpet.
I just generated something really good too.
Oh, that is OBS, not Arknights.
Can send me a link to this? Because every time I went to find it, I can never find Dolly.
Crayon.com.
Be aware that you might have to try several times because
Yeah.
sometimes it gets overloaded.
Okay.
Laying
Isn't Fernando Botero the best prompt?
Thank you. I'll just type it into Google now, but I couldn't spell. Oh dear.
Welcome that set.
I love the Fernando Botero prompt so much.
They look like they could, well, some of them anyways, look like they could be real.
That bottom middle one actually has a frame generated around it.
Right.
Always think ahead.
Oh, I'm glad we're actually catching this on camera, because normally we do this stuff off camera.
Yeah. Or, well,
Last time we...
quote unquote on camera, viewers can't actually see any of it, but, you know.
Oh, my, yeah. Yeah, last time we played with an AI generation machine, we weren't doing it on voice.
Mm.
Or recording, rather.
Has there been any updates to that? Probably.
What?
That Pokemon one?
Oh, yeah, it's got a whole bunch of things. Some of it you have to, like, sign up for and pay for now.
Oh.
For a moment, I thought you were talking about the furry one.
Oh, no, that was a fun time, too.
Ah, yes, the one where we kept finding my persona. I didn't mean to click out of the game.
Not too much traffic, try again in 15 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, it actually gives you a countdown now.
Well, a count.
Not even a countdown. It just always says 15 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Mine's saying up to 3 minutes.
Well, yeah, that... We're talking about
Okay,
when
this
it
is
says, please try
absolutely
again.
not what I expected when I typed in this prompt.
Do not like how they changed that AI-generated Pokemon. Oh.
Yeah, it feels a little weird that you have to pay for some things. Or have an account.
You have to pay for dual types.
Ew.
That's scummy.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Especially when all it is... I mean, I understand wanting to make money off something, but that's not a way you go about it.
Like, I can understand doing the paying for the coming soon Sugimori style.
Yeah.
But, like, just for the second type? I can also understand paying for the batch generation. That's fine.
And the thing is, it's not like they're passable.
It's just popular, so they think that they can do scummy things.
I mean, how long did it take us to find a passable AI-generated Pokemon?
A long time.
What?
Yeah.
Ah.
I mean, it probably just saw the word sergeant and just went from there.
Don't let them get the drop on you. First aid box. The medication is here. Take it.
I'm listening.
Deployed.
Oh, it actually looks like they might have changed the AI-generated Pokemon to be a live generation. So that makes a lot more sense why they're doing the paying as they are.
What's live generation mean?
So before, it had a whole bunch of stuff that they generated beforehand,
Ah.
and, basically just put in to, like when you generated a Pokemon, it would just show you a previously generated one. Now they're doing it so that when you press the button, it actually generates a new Pokemon.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and that takes fairly significant computer resources.
So it is understandable then.
Yeah.
Question is, how many people are actually paying for it?
That's a good question. So it's $6 for 30 Noka points. And that's basically 30 generations, $12.50 for 100 and $25 for 250.
Now, my question is, outside of just shits and giggles and a good drawing prompt, what are people using these for? I know someone is making a whole game based around the AI generated Pokemon they made.
Of course they are.
Cheap and easy, free designs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if you're gonna use the fusion generator to make a fan game, then why not at this point?
Well, they're still going to have to draw them and make them pixel art from the 3D model.
You overestimate the Pokemon fan game community.
Always think ahead.
I know what you guys are capable of.
Yeah, but some people are lazy, and I've literally seen static 3D models in pixel-based Pokemon fan games.
Seriously? I
Yeah.
never knew that. I've never... That's...
And those always look super bad.
Yeah.
That's yikes.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
a big yikes.
Actually, wait, no, it's not the entirety of Nokomon that's doing live generation. It's only the advanced tabs, so it's like, wait, why can't we do dual type for free?
Oh, it sounds like they got greedy.
Yeah.
I understand gotta make that money, but Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I understand having the live generation be something you pay for, but...
It gets to a point when you're just trying to monetize a popular thing.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to be honest, it's not popular anymore.
No. I do wonder, though, if when people generate a new thing in the advanced tab, if it adds it to the possible things in the regular tab.
Maybe. But that would be kind of bullshit to the people who are paying, wouldn't it?
It would. It's not like it's an NFT, though.
Oh man, yeah, speaking of, does anyone remember LimeWire?
Yeah, I saw that.
Ugh.
They're getting into
Buy
NFTs.
into the brand new LimeWire NFT marketplace.
Don't they know people are just going to pirate it?
Not as if that's hard.
Literally just copy and paste.
Yeah.
Or control save.
Ready to heal.
Oh no. Fucking cold enchanted bitch.
Hey, at least it's not arcane enchanted.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God that's not in Diablo 2. Oh my God, I fucking hate that shit in Diablo 3. I purposely build to be immune to Arcane in the end.
Yeah, arcane enchanted leads can just instantly kill you in Diablo 3. It's impressive.
Yeah, they just pop those purple spinning dildos everywhere. Have you seen what's in the PTR?
No.
Oh, it's gonna be a good season. It's like it might even draw me back. It's there's these special items, like they're angelic items that basically give you an entire new power.
Huh.
Like they buff the Necromancer's Nova. What else was there? The Whirlwind gets buffed with Barb to be like something really crazy where it pulls in everything.
Huh.
A Crusader gets a huge buff to become a Hammerden.
Oh, nice.
Like that's what has me wanting to play. It's like I love Hammerden in D2, and being able to have that kind of background. It's like they like stay around you like that one room, and they shoot out as well like a Thor's hammer kind of thing.
Nice.
And it's just it's gonna be a good season.
Nice.
And I think they're buffing some suts that make some things completely broken with, especially with Wizard.
That's neat. Also, when playing as Wizard, doing anything other than the female one is a crime.
It is.
Because Grey Delisle.
Like, male Wizard just not fun to look at either.
No.
It's like that character was designed to be female.
Yeah.
And I will argue the same thing with Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
Male Demon Hunter is just some hunchback.
I mean, I just say that for the Wizard because Grey Delisle voices the Wizard. So.
Mm-hmm. Ow. If I'm being fair, I usually play female for all the classes. As I go by,
I mostly like my main class in Diablo 3 was Witch Doctor, and that one's better for male, I think.
Yeah, the voice fits great for that one as a male. Necromancer, I prefer female.
I never played the female Necromancer, but I did like the male. Yeah.
The original voice was just so iconic. It's hard to not have that voice back.
Hmm.
When you don't have Zool, what's the...
Yeah.
Laying out the welcome mat.
When the hell do I get rabies? 18. Like, I can't compare Druid to anything in D2. I mean, in D3. Druid is the most unique class in all these games.
I mean, there's some very surface level comparisons to Witch Doctor, but it's just that surface level.
Oh yeah, even Witch Doctor is super unique compared to anything from D2.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you can see some like Witch Doctor has a touch of Necromancer in it,
and
when it's summoning, and that's it. The rest is all
touch
unique.
of Druid, if only for the theming.
Yeah, definitely with the elemental magic. But like the curses, the way they work with did they? No, they weren't called curses. They were like voodoo stuff. The Witch Doctor, where they just like you dot one enemy, and it'll just infect entire groups of enemies. A Haunt and Pestilence, I think, did that.
Oh yeah.
I love that. I love building.
Haunt builds
building
are
towards that.
fun.
Oh yeah, isn't that Jade?
I think so.
Yeah, that's fun. And Lawn Bomb. Ooh.
Also, one thing I will say about Diablo 3, one thing that I don't really like about it too much is you never attack with your weapons, you know?
Yeah, I know. That's why I love D2, because the weapon is super important.
Yeah.
Like in D3, no matter what, it's just a stat stick.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's a stat stick, and that's it.
And D2, it determines everything. It's like, if you want a high attack speed, you need a good weapon.
Me sitting here, the only word I recognize in this Diablo conversation is Jade because I play Mortal Kombat.
And I'm just quiet because Arknights.
You get me talking about Diablo, I can literally go on for hours. That's not an exaggeration. Like, I can give a 2-hour voice presentation on D2 and that without getting tired. And D3, like Diablo in general, lore included. That's kind of why I'm a little pissy about D4, because they kind of fucked up the lore big time.
Uh-oh.
Blizzard's bound to do that at some point with literally all of their properties.
Yeah.
Because they're making Lilith be the villain, and Lilith was like one of the few good demons.
Let's not forget one of the big reasons why people these days fucking hate World of Warcraft, and that's because Sylvanas is a Mary Sue.
I mean, I would say in Diablo, like, you could argue that in the eyes of some, most notably the angels, Lilith was a villain.
Mm-hmm. But she still
She was even a villain in the eyes of the demons, too, now that I think about
exactly. But she would never turn against the humans.
No.
We were her children.
No.
And they have her being the main villain? It just doesn't seem right. It feels weird. And they have Trangul being a villain too, and he was the first necromancer, big hero. It just feels wrong and doesn't make sense. Those bastards would have to bring Duriel back.
They're probably going to justify it with some type of corruption or something, you know.
Or it's like a fake out, and they're bringing her back because Diablo somehow come back yet again.
Yeah.
Corruption. Literally the entire reason Legion exists.
Yeah. I mean, the way D3 ended, they were kind of teasing that the Nephilim was going to be the villain. After you kill Matthew. What was his name? The angel?
Matthew,
yeah. There was a big twist. It's like, oh, we have to fear the Nephilim because he has all this power now. And it's like, okay, that's a good setup because you're basically just doing the setup from D1. Oh man, I cannot deal with these cold archers. This sucks.
This is more from the Foxfire podcast to the Diablo podcast.
Yeah.
I'm cool
Yeah,
with
that
it.
happens sometimes with the conversations. They get brought in certain ways.
Like, I can't really get into these huge conversations with anyone on this podcast about video games, because pretty much the only video game we all share in common is Pokemon.
Hey, I know quite a bit about Elder Scrolls lore.
Same.
A concerning amount, actually. Considering I don't really like the games other than ESO.
It's good lore, though.
Yeah,
Elder Scrolls 6 will come out by the time I'm 40.
maybe.
If we're lucky.
Fallout 5 by the time I'm 56.
Maybe.
I'll be teaching my kids about this stuff by the time it comes out.
I remember when Skyrim first came out.
This is the joke I was about to make. Archaeologists will be digging up hard drives full of old Skyrim videos by the time Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. On that note, though, like on the note of like Skyrim and Fallout 4, I can't believe that the fucking guy yelling Todd Howard at E3 moment is 4 years old now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
God.
remember that.
But we know that most of you came here for one thing. Todd Howard!
Oh, I love Bethesda fans. We're the weirdest. The man is more of the meme than anything.
Yeah.
言う通りにしますね。火事には気をつけてください。
First aid box is clear.
はい。どこに行けばいいですか？
I just love it that it's just gone into production. Elder Scrolls 6. That it just announced. They announced it at the before the pandemic of the E3, I think, or the, right?
少し暑いかもしれませんよ。
Something like
Was it
that.
before the pandemic? They gave us that little beautiful opening shot of the mountains. It was like Elder Scrolls 6, and that was it. And now that we get the trailer for Space Skyrim,
Starfield.
yeah, that's it. We get the
Shows you how
trailer for-
little anyone actually cares about Starfield.
Oh, I care about it. I'm very excited for it. I just can't remember its name.
I
And,
feel like that speaks still in the opposite direction, considering you called it Space Skyrim, despite
Well, they
being
had
excited
that
about it
one
and had
shot
to
of
be corrected.
New Atlantis where it's like it's like a panning camera of the big city, and people have overlaid it with the big shot of Whiterun.
Don't let them get
It
this.
looks the same. Like if you
Yeah,
look at
sounds like
the
Bethesda.
it's that's I'm just calling it Space Skyrim. I expect to see some form of dragon in this game. They managed to put a dragon in Fallout.
Todd Howard
so-
managed to bamboozle us all and re-release Skyrim again.
And again, and again.
First aid box is medication is here.
And I won't complain, Skyrim's a great game, but come on, Todd.
Still, one of my all-time favorite Steam reviews of the Anniversary Edition is, "Man, fuck you, Todd. Anyway, here's your $19.99."
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, if that isn't the reaction to Anniversary Edition in a nutshell, I don't know what is.
I wonder if you're going to get an anniversary edition of Fallout 4.
気をつけて行動しますね。
It had the same
I'd be
impact
hesitant to
at
say
the time.
that, considering they're still supporting the abortion that is Fallout 76.
私が
Yeah. Yeah. And that was the mistake. It added great weapons. I will give it that, but that's not it. And then they fucked up the
And
lore.
Fallout 4 is still kind of polarizing because people still think they should play it like a Fallout game and not like a looter shooter with a Fallout skin.
I could never imagine it playing like an actual Fallout game. Like
I
using
mean,
bats
not
for
even
everything.
Fallout 3 should really be played like that.
No.
People still dislike ESO because it's not Skyrim multiplayer.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, actually exists and is stable now.
Yeah.
No way, really?
Yeah,
It got
Skyrim
stabilized?
Together Reborn came out last week.
That's
Full
awesome.
release.
It's super awesome. I never thought that would actually happen.
I can link you to the Nexus page, and there's a thread on our forums about it that I made.
Ooh.
Fuck, I'm being killed.
Rip.
Oh, I hate early game cold mechanics. Like, I have everything immune to this as my necromancer. Nothing would be able to touch me. Until I got hell difficulty hell. That's where I had to respec into a poison necro.
Like, I saw it, like, the day it released, someone made a video about it, and ignoring the fact that they're a heathen who uses Vortex in the year of our Lord 2022, pretty much everything just works in the literal sense and not the Todd Howard sense. Even PvP.
That's super impressive. Like, that's why I love the community when it comes to mods. Because they fixed the game.
Like, they even
Getting
have-
into modding communities is always a weird experience because it's a completely different community from just the.
Yep.
Like, Skyrim Together Reborn even has a self-hosted Linux server based on Docker that I want to use, but I don't have the money, nor do I care about using Docker.
All medicine has been prepared.
Just
I know,
just give me a normal server. I don't want to fucking use Docker.
私たちの実力
I know the Fallout modding community is super toxic.
So is Skyrim's to a degree, because there's the fact that most of the community now fucking hates Arthmore because he's an asshole.
Yep.
Does it have a guy who creates mods and purposely rigs them to brick Xboxes?
Not that I'm aware of, but for the record, Arthmore is the guy that made the unofficial Skyrim patches, and he is an asshole.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep. He is a gigantic asshole.
I only know of the one in the Fallout community because he made great weapon mods. But he didn't like the fact that they put modding on Xbox. And he put like a...
The biggest reason that Arthmore is such a huge asshole is because the unofficial patches have their own issues, and he won't let people fix them.
Yep.
I don't see why not. Like, the whole point is just to fix it if there's an issue within an issue. Or an issue within the solution. I don't know, I guess I'm just different.
Pride.
Yeah. Greatest downfall of anyone.
But, like, I should admit, like, the Minecraft modded community, and I'm more in tune with the, modded community of Minecraft than I am with the, traditional community for Minecraft. And there's weird drama that pops up there.
There was weird drama popping up in that community back when I was still adminning a server.
Oh, yeah. One of the oldest, and it's kind of one of my favorites, is two mod authors, kind of big mod authors. One of them, I think it was MDO that was part of it, who made Tinker's Construct, and Greg of Greg Tech had distinct different, different ideas about what the balance of modded Minecraft should be. So one or the other made it so that it would crash Minecraft if the other mod was detected.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. No, that's next petty. Level petty.
Yeah. That is glorious. No, that's funny.
Just because they disagreed about how the balance of the game should go.
Welcome that set.
I know the Minecraft community is just like weird.
Yeah.
And I say that as a part of it.
I've seen the inside of server management on a reasonably large scale, and there's a lot more 10-year-olds getting Minecraft marriages than you might think.
That's where I get weirded out. It's like, this is why I usually play solo or with people I am close to and know. You guys? But I would never play on an open server because of shit like that. I would never go to, like, I don't even know, like, Hypixel or whatever.
And Hypixel's not too bad.
That's
the worst part is,
the
server I was admin on wasn't even like really one of the big, huge servers. It was fairly big, but like not on the level of Hypixel or Hermitcraft or anything like that.
Well, Hermitcraft isn't big because there's only like 20 people there. It's just popular because everyone there is a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing goes with Psycraft, and I guess you could consider Dream SMP, even though it's more roleplay-ish.
Deployed.
It's weird looking at what he does now, but way back in the day, the Famous Films actually used to be a mod on the server I was admin on. Because he's one of the guys behind Minecraft Origins, right?
Right.
Deployed.
What's the difference between an admin and a mod, if I may ask?
Admins have more power.
Okay.
Admins generally have access to the console, whereas mods don't.
Okay.
Like, it's weird, because the server I was admin on kind of had this weird informal separation between super admins that have full access and admins that have limited access. But me and, weirdly enough, Fallen were kind of in between that, where we had full access but weren't officially super admins.
Wow. That sounds awkward.
It was awkward.
I mean, I've been awkward staff on in various places, so I know what it's like.
First aid box.
Awkward staff. My name is Blue Saga. Now that's an old one.
Yeah.
Setting up.
What is it with like forums and Discord servers that have people that
And
are just
Twitch
like
channels at this
awkwardly
point.
that are like awkwardly part of the staff, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like most of the Twitch channels you go to these days just suddenly make you a mod out of nowhere.
I've seen that happen.
Everywhere I go, I become a mod.
Yeah.
Like you told me to make you a mod on my YouTube.
Well, yeah, but that's because we're friends. It's like I don't go into a Arknight's stream with like 200 people in it and expect to randomly be asked if I want to be a mod.
How many times has that happened now? Like what?
A
2
lot.
or 3?
Like
More than
weirdly, a lot.
Like I'm an unofficial admin on everything Ragnarok Raven because I own the licenses, I pay for the hosting.
Well, I pay for the actual domain.
Yeah. Which I would have done myself, but I don't have the money for it.
Deployed.
I know I'm a mod on one of my friend's Twitches. And I remember I swung the banhammer hard once. The guy was a freak.
Hmm.
He kept on asking to smell my friend's burps.
Ah.
Types.
He was one of those kind of people.
Same type of people who go around harassing female streamers into showing their boobs.
Yeah, that's an easy way to get banned.
That's less popular nowadays, I think.
Yeah, it used to be a real problem though.
Did.
You would be surprised. Because I follow a lot of streamers on not only Twitch but Twitter, and yeah, a lot of the female ones I follow reported people actually coming in and telling them to show bare boobs on stream.
That's just silly.
People on Twitch are still weird, but they used to be even weirder.
Yeah.
I mean, they do know Chatterbait exists, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is cool. I have a wolf pack. I'm not a big fan of Twitch as it is. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just a weird, scummy culture to me.
I don't really watch like many of the big streamers anymore. I have like 2 or 3 that I'm subscribed to that I watch more often.
There's some
Aren't super
YouTubers I
huge.
follow that stream as well, and I just wait for the VODs.
Well, I'm
I've been
subscribed
watching
to
more
someone on Twitch
Twitch
who
than
streams, like-
usual lately because I have a friend that started streaming.
I'm
on
subbed to
Twitch.
someone like I pay a sub to someone on Twitch who streams like once every 6 months just because I like the guy and he's funny.
Is it
Nice.
fallen?
How is your friend doing with the streaming?
She's doing pretty all right.
It's awesome.
She's had collabs and stuff like that. So, you know.
It's awesome for an
Yeah.
small streamer.
Yeah.
The main one I'm subbed to that I've been subscribed to for like almost 7 years now, I think. 7 years straight. Is Kyle After Dark, formerly known as Video Game Relay. Which it's only Kyle now, but it used to be Kyle, Mike, and sometimes their friend Andy, who would do these several hundred to 1,000 hour long video game relay marathons. where they'd switch off from time to time so the other person could get some sleep.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I think the
Like, that's
longest
like an
one
impressive insane.
the longest one they ever did was, I think it was a 1,000-hour Monster Hunter 4 Unite marathon.
Wow.
Setting up.
The only reason it kept going that long was because me and a couple of others kept fucking like donating to show memes on stream, and the more you donated to their marathons, the longer they'd go on.
Ooh.
So we'd just start meme trains.
I could see that being so unhealthy. It's like,
Yeah.
part of me wants to get back into streaming because that was fun.
Yeah.
But like, I have no energy as it is anymore. Like, I don't know how I did it then.
It'd be neat to get into streaming. I'd have to get an Ethernet hookup in my room first.
I still need to do that.
I did everything over Wi-Fi.
Oof.
Oof.
I never had issues. I think it's because it's the Wi-Fi my family pays for. It's equivalent to business class. With Spectrum, which is decent.
I have a gigabit residential connection, which is one of the big reason why I actually want to get Ethernet, because I'm not using the entire connection when I download anything.
I'm hoping fiber comes here, which it's supposed to.
I have fiber. Yay.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, the Maritimes, like Canadian Maritimes, have had fiber longer than most of the U.S. East Coast by like a year.
That's impressive.
Because Alliance started rolling it out in 2005.
I know Syracuse. I don't live there, but it's getting it. Fiber optic. And it's supposed to come here near me, which is not that far away. So I'm hoping. I'd rather have fiber than anything with Spectrum. Spectrum sucks!
Just like Rogers.
Also, is that how New Yorkers pronounce the city?
What, Syracuse?
Yeah, I've usually pronounced it Syracuse.
Yeah, we say Syracuse.
Sorry, I just found that interesting.
Nah, it's fine. We pronounce things weird here. Kalion has corrected me thousands of times on my pronunciation of nuclear.
Nuclear.
It's a New York dialect.
We have kind of the same thing going on in Nova Scotia, where there's a neighborhood of Halifax called Amherst and the town north of me called Amherst. They are spelled the exact same way, but pronounced differently.
How often do you come across somebody with a really strong Newfoundland accent?
Fairly often, because there's a lot of Newfies here.
Nice.
I think there's like 2 or 3 Newfoundland flags in town alone. Yeah. And this town isn't very big.
The type of Newfoundland accent, they act like this, you know? You're like,
yeah.
What?
I've genuinely come across people who sound like that.
Nice.
That's funny.
I thought that the accent was kind of going out of, not out of style, that's the wrong
I
phrase,
actually kind of like the Newfoundland accent. The
Oh,
accent
yeah,
I
it
can't
sounds
stand is Ottawa Valley.
Yeah, no, the Newfoundland accent sounds nice. It's like they say something and you're like, what?
Like the Eastern Ontario / Ottawa Valley accent pisses me off because it's like nobody told these people that if there is 2 vowels with a consonant in the middle, you elongate the first consonant. It's not bagel, it's bagel.
That almost sounds like a New York accent, bagel.
No,
bagel.
They say bagel. At least New Yorkers slightly elongate the A.
That type of thing is also common in the Midwest, so
Yeah.
I say it like that.
I don't like it either.
End.
See, I don't have, like, once in a blue moon, a New York accent will slip through with certain words. Otis. Tortoise.
So,
I say it funny sometimes.
Yeah. So this isn't like an accent thing, but it's a a usage of language I picked up from my grandpa, who was an Okie, from Oklahoma, and that is the positive anymore. And that's a usage of anymore to mean something along the lines of nowadays. And it bothers Kuda when I
Yeah.
Very impressed
use
by
it,
everyone's performance.
but it's a real thing. It
Could
has
you use it in a sentence?
not off the top of my head.
Oh, okay, because I'm trying to figure out how that would be used.
Let me go to Wikipedia for an example.
Do I want a fire merc or do I want an ice merc?
Let's see. An example from Wikipedia that I would say matches is everything we do anymore seems to have been done in a big hurry.
Oh, okay, that's weird.
Oh man, that reminds me because that's something that this other accent does too. But there's there's a very clear split in Ontario between accents that are from south of Highway 7 and north of Highway 7.
Nice.
North of Highway 7, like people with that accent sound like a weird cross between the Oklahoma slang that Nate just described and a weird sort of southern twang. Because you hear people pronounce everything like everything.
Nice.
It's really weird. And it's not something I ever got used to living there.
I do enjoy a good accent.
But yeah, there is a Wikipedia article on the positive anymore. So
that's amazing. It has a Wikipedia entry.
You'd be surprised at what has a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
A lot of hilarious things do.
Twitch Plays Pokemon, I think, has one.
Oh,
it does.
It does. I mean, I would be shocked if it didn't, considering it broke Twitch.
Yep.
That was a huge internet phenomenon. They try to copy it so hard. That was lightning in a bottle. That'll never happen again.
Like, Twitch Plays Pokemon, I think, ended up being part of the reason that Twitch let themselves be bought by Amazon just for the extra server capacity.
Would make sense.
What's funny is going to like a particularly niche Wikipedia article and going to the talk page. So one of my favorites is this talk page for the old Badgers animation. It's
something.
Ninja? Arg Snake?
Yeah, I just love the drama that happens in Wikipedia Wikipedia talk pages sometimes.
Same.
And this is just one of my favorites here. People getting offended over the fact that, yes, this had popular culture influence. and yes, it kind of does deserve a Wikipedia article.
Laying out the welcome mat.
I'm curious to see what kind of other craziness has Wikipedia articles. Now, here's the real question: how can you find a Wikipedia article that's not biased?
No.
No, you can't. Everything is going to be biased one way or the other.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I would say that at least for larger articles on Wikipedia, they really do their best to have it be.
No, they don't.
You know,
slightly controversial opinion from me again. Half the time when I hear people scream bias, it means it doesn't satisfy my bias.
I just like things to be fair and equal.
Yep.
That's what I mean when I say I'm not biased. Like, do they shine the proper light on both issues from both? How can I put this actually better? Do they pussyfoot around communist what the hell was that?
Manifesto?
I forget what that article was where they took it down because it said it wasn't true. Massacres from communism? Was that one of them that they took down?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
I remember I shared it. Do I still have it saved on my computer? Oh my fucking god!
What happened?
I forgot I had DALL-E open and it actually finally loaded something and it's horrifying.
Good job.
This is not what I wanted to see minimizing OBS. Oh, that was glorious. I just typed in trail cam. And I got a trail cam of a trail cam. Oh, hold on, I gotta send it to you guys. This is too funny. Like, there's one that's horrifying. That's what caught my eye originally.
Like, my main point, though, is something can be written in the most neutral, passive voice possible, and there will always be someone out there who says, this is biased, it's shit.
Because you're always going to have zealots and fanatics from both sides arguing that.
That deer, though.
I know, that's what scared the shit out of me. I was not expecting that when I first minimized my screen.
I like how there's just a picture of a tree.
Yeah. I just love the trail cam.
The trail cam to generate what I wanted, and it is utterly cursed.
Nah, I'm searching cursed trail cam. I want to see how fucking broken we can go.
Take it.
Oh god, that's horrible. Why? Why would you do that?
It's cursed.
That is cursed. That's nightmare fuel.
I'm going to be honest, though, that screenshot you posted of Wikipedia banners, I feel like a lot of that is just because Wikipedia's policy on everything is kind of awful.
Wikipedia and Joe.
Not necessarily biased, but they'll stick that up even if the dispute claim is kind of shit.
No, it's gone now. But...
And let's not forget that Wikipedia moderators are human and have their own biases, too.
Yeah.
And it seems everybody likes communism lately.
Okay, one of those looks like it's Todd Howard with leprosy or something.
Always think ahead.
So I generated this. I love the middle one.
I love the bottom middle.
I love how he tried to blend realism into it.
I love how the top right one, the Sonic is somewhat accurate to the game models.
Yeah.
The bottom left is just a cartoon hedgehog.
Oh, I'm gonna do one now.
Oh boy.
Still better than that original live-action Sonic.
Yep.
Who apparently was the.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was in the Chip and Dale movie.
And he was a cool character in that movie.
Like, I didn't even see that movie, yet I heard about it. I'm like, what?
I just love how that movie's a pseudo sequel for Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's what blew my mind when I watched it. It's like, oh my god, it's actually a sequel.
Yeah, I don't like what the movie did with the legacy of Bobby Driscoll, but
it was an awful movie. I will say that, but
I mean, I enjoyed it well enough.
It was a good laugh.
Knowing about the whole Bobby Driscoll thing, but once I learned about that, I was like, oh, that's kind of offensive, actually. I think I've mentioned the whole Bobby Driscoll thing before, right?
I'm not sure.
So basically, the plot of the Chip and Dale movie is, big spoilers here for anybody that cares. The main villain is Peter Pan after getting old, and he couldn't be in movies anymore because, he wasn't cute anymore. So he started a why can't I think of the word? Bootleg movie industry, where he would kidnap other cartoon characters and edit them slightly so that they could be in a, not quite copyright infringing movie. That's the plot of the movie. But it gets really awkward when you learn about Bobby Driscoll, who was the voice for Peter Pan in the original movie. So, after filming Peter Pan, Bobby Driscoll, he was just a kid at the time, so he started going through puberty, and it hit him hard. Severe acne, everything like that. And basically, Disney said, we can't use you for movies anymore, go away type of thing.
Because Disney's a scummy company.
Yeah. So, at first his parents tried to get him back into a regular school. He ended up getting bullied because of his work in Peter Pan. So his parents transferred him to a school for child actors, basically. Where child actors could keep their studies up and everything. But, with everything that was happening, he ended up turning to drugs by the time he was 17. And he had a few roles in a few movies every now and then, but that line of work was really drying up for him. And he eventually just completely fell out of the spotlight. Then, some 10 years later, he was found by a couple of kids in New York City on the street, dead from substance abuse and and the cold and everything. And nobody knew who he was at the time. So they buried him in an unmarked pauper's grave. And it wasn't until a year later his mother was looking for him because his father was dying. And she ended up getting into contact with the police, found out about the John Doe, and positively identified him as Bobby Driscoll. I assume they had like pictures or something, but yeah, he died in a really heartbreaking way, and the way his mother had to learn about his death is just
that's awful.
But the mirrors between what happens in the Chip and Dale movie and Bobby Driscoll's life are enough to make you uncomfortable and think, oh, they're doing this on purpose, and it's not a good look.
That was definitely on purpose. There's no way that could not have happened.
And it's kind of offensive the way they did it, I think. Actually, more than kind of offensive. It really...
I wouldn't say offensive, but I would say definitely poor taste.
Yeah. It kind of makes light of a tragedy, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you are.
Deployed.
Definitely make sure to realize Disney is not the sunshine and rainbows they want to be.
Yeah, no. Because, they could have had the same bootlegging plot with anything else,
Mm-hmm.
But they chose Peter Pan, and they gave him that backstory. Yeah,
That's intentional.
yeah.
Especially coming from Disney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's kind of just them spitting on the grave of Bobby Driscoll.
Oh, that's more than spitting. That's dancing on the grave.
Yeah.
Here I am.
First aid box clear.
Laying out the welcome mat.
And I guess it's such a long time ago it happened.
Yeah.
Tragedy plus time means comedy, I guess.
Hmm.
I'm not condoning it, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do sometimes believe comedy plus time plus that.
Time plus
some
tragedy
cases, yes.
equals comedy.
In some cases, yes.
That I'm just saying what you were trying to say.
Yeah. In some cases, yes. In some cases, no.
気をつけて行動して。
天面する山々となる。
Laying out the welcome mat.
Here I am.
But if you trust Disney, you should have your eyes open to the truth of it
Yeah.
all. Oh, man.
Mission
Damn.
accomplished.
Oh, well. My spirit wolves. I hate when you get something good and it just replaces something that was also really good, but it's
Yeah.
better.
I was very impressed by everyone's performance. It was fantastic.
So it's a time we usually stop. Are we going to call it a short episode, or
I mean, nah.
we'll keep going for the 2 hours?
Yeah.
Everyone okay with that?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm fine with that.
Okie Alright, time to go all strength.
I mean, not that I have, or can think of anything else to talk about right now, but
Same.
わかりました。先輩。
Well, to bring things back to Minecraft, when did green become Dream all of a sudden?
潜入。
Those were some impressive plays, yeah.
Yeah, and they're the last two greens on the board.
Yeah.
It's like I was expecting them to die when Scar jumped off the platform.
There was also, like, in Grian's actual Hermitcraft video, let's just say that we might be seeing another war started by Grian.
Oh god. Grian's always a shit sir, and I love it. The most recent one, like the yesterday's episode?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't watched it yet.
You definitely should.
Mm-hmm. The sounds of it, definitely. I just wonder, do they kind of stir the plot lines to these things, or does it just happen out of the blue like that?
Sometimes there is a little bit of story crafting going on behind the scenes, but generally it's not fully planned out. It's just, hey, this thing would be cool. What if we played this?
Mm-hmm. It's that kind of stuff that makes me excited for season 2 of Foxfire. With more people, God knows what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Recent Notch tweet. Only speaking when nobody else in your group is loosely the same as an NOR gate. This means conversation is capable of running Doom. You need to set up very contrived overlapping conversations and figure out the input and output somehow, and the frame rate will suck.
Cover me. Draw swords. Got it. Cut them to pieces.
You okay?
Skeleton archers, lots of them. And they're extra fast, so they're shooting like machine guns. They already killed my
Skeleton archers trigger my PTSD, my video game PTSD for other reasons.
Which
Dark
are?
Souls.
I'm
Fuck
glad
those
Elden Ring
assholes.
didn't have skeleton archers. I'm so glad skeleton archers did not exist in Elden Ring. They had worse things, but... Oh wait, no, we did have skeleton archers, never mind. But were they skeletons, though, in the tombs?
They're probably zombies. A lot of things
There
in
was
Elden Ring seem
something.
to be zombies.
They were some kind of sniper in the corner that kept popping up every time you killed them.
Deployed.
Still to this day, my best Dark Souls 3 memory is one-hitting Pontiff Sullivan. That shit was hilarious. I just charged my weapon art, lunge towards him, and he erupts immediately.
I think the only boss where I could say I had a similar experience to that in Elden Ring, I had a no-hit run on, it's like the second to last boss. I forget his name. He's the guy who just strips off his clothes and just fights you like a barbarian after. Hora Ho? Something like that. It was Godwin the Golden. That was his king name, I think. And it was the most beautiful fight I've ever done in that game because it was no hit. It was like a dance. It was just like everything connected perfectly, and I'll just never forget that moment.
Man, I wish I could get in on the Elden Ring hype, but I don't have $90.
That's expensive.
Price before tax, $79.99 here.
I'll definitely say get it on sale.
Well, I'm glad that a friend of mine recently bought me Mortal Kombat 11 while it was on sale because there was no way I'd be able to afford it otherwise.
Deployed.
You know, I've never been a fan of Mortal Kombat. Or fighting games in general. I'll play Smash Bros. That's about it. Even then, I do not enjoy the experience.
I mean, I'm kind of a fighting game fan. I enjoy Soul Calibur, I enjoy Mortal Kombat, I enjoy Injustice.
Like, I've played them, but they're not my cup of tea. Same with racing
Fair
games.
I like to play fighting games with friends.
Fighting games and racing games bring out the worst in me.
So you're the type that rages at Mario Kart then?
Oh no, not Mario Kart. Mario Kart was fun. I'm fine with Mario Kart and Smash Bros. But Need for Speed? Oof, I almost broke my PSP in half.
Man, it can't be me. Burnout was like my childhood, and I enjoyed the shit out of those games.
Medication is here.
I guess it's... I don't know what it is. I just don't like the bullshit where they just overtake you at the last second.
Oh, Rubber Band AI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's controversial.
It's like somehow they get the burst of speed 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's like, where the hell do you get that speed? In a game with no NOS. It's like, if you had NOS, I'd understand that. I think Need for Speed would
Yeah,
have
AI
NOS.
in racing games tends to cheat.
Mm-hmm. Especially in Midnight Club. Like, I love that one. That was one racing game I loved because I would just drive around LA just listening to the music.
Honestly, that's why I like Burnout so much, because you can use the game's Rubber Band AI against it.
I don't think you could exploit that with the ones I played. Or at least I didn't know how.
Because half the point of Burnout is to take people out in spectacular fashion. If you see an AI try to overtake you, you just pit maneuver them into a corner and they die.
The only way I was able to get anywhere in Midnight Club, once you unlock the Ducati motorcycle, it just rules destroys every other kind of race. Almost unfair. Because there's no way a motorcycle going 300 miles an hour is going to be able to handle going against cars going 100.
I'm actually fucking sad that Criterion Games is dead because that means no more Burnout.
Didn't they just re-release a remaster or something?
I mean, like, Criterion Games is dead in the sense that what happens to literally every EA studio happened to them.
I know how that goes. Poor Westwood.
Yeah. Poor Maxis.
Oh god, that one hurts. That one hurts more.
Oh, you know what one hurts me the most? Fucking Pandemic Studios.
That's another good one.
That makes me angry.
You haven't changed one bit, my friend.
I lost my roguelike run.
I'm sorry.
I'm glad that, like,
the last stage is tricky.
Free Radical managed to come back from that fucking hellhole. That means that, yes, Time Splitters 4 is actually going to be a thing. It's not an if, it's a when.
Yay.
Nice. I have vague
no, I will never
memories
stop
of the
talking
time.
about it.
I have vague memories of the Time Splitter series. They're like fever dream kind of things. Like I barely remember it kind of thing. And I don't know if they're my memories at that point.
My friend.
Yeah, as someone who played a lot of them, the first game in terms of like how the guns work and how aiming works is very similar to GoldenEye 64. The second and third games have more modern aiming, where the gun is always centered and you can't just like shift your aim to the top of the screen and the guns move with it. Which kind of felt jank on a PS2 controller anyway.
Also, a lot of those early game shooters were so janky.
For several years, by the way, when you would bring up Time Splitters, I always thought you were like the series the game I was envisioning was actually Blinks the Time Sweeper. So,
oh god, Blinks the cat.
If you claim there are more efficient ways.
No, Time Splitters.
Yeah, I know the difference now, but
like it's great because it's kind of like a semi-serious time travel first-person shooter that makes fun of itself at every turn. Like, what other game could you play monkeys, robot monkeys, zombie monkeys, and zombie monkey robots that all throw bricks at each other? That is like that is the distilled essence of Time Splitters.
Now I know why my memories of this game are fever dreamish.
Because the series itself is kind of a fever dream in multiplayer. Like, real talk, the monkeys were fucking overpowered in Virus and Shrink modes because you could just start losing and nobody could ever hit you.
There are a lot of games like that where they're just like a distant memory, like in a dream kind of thing. I remember when I was really little, this was like one of my first PC games.
Oh boy.
I had a dinosaur hunting game.
Huh.
I can't remember what the hell it was.
Why does this sound like Turok?
Yeah,
it wasn't Turok. Okay. I know it wasn't that because like I thought it was when I was like, oh, Turok. That was the game I played. Then I looked at it and I was like, this is not the game I played. I think it was like Carnivore?
Speaking of dinosaurs, rather obscure fighting game that I'm not sure anyone but me in here remembers. Primal Rage.
I know that one.
Primal Rage is fucking great.
But no, on the subject of like video games that are like weird half memories from childhood, I have one that I actually figured out what it was not too long ago.
Oh?
So back in the days of demo discs, remember those?
Yes.
Oh, I remember those.
PC gamer.
I'm talking about PS2 here. So,
Oh, okay.
there was one demo disc that had a game where I couldn't remember the name. And all I could remember is that the main character was, like a conventionally attractive woman in a dress, and you were going through a tropical island that also had like weird Greco-Roman type stuff all around it. And one of the big things is that you could transform into this crazy looking scary monster. And for a long time I had no idea what the name was, until one day I decided I am going to go through every single demo disc I can find on YouTube to try to figure out this game. And I did.
What was it?
The game was Summoners 2.
Not
Or
familiar
Summoner
with
2.
it.
Summoner 2.
I am not familiar with it.
Yeah, it's a weird game. I wish that I could describe it better, but like I actually, downloaded an ISO of it, and like it's a weird game.
I have a similar story, but I don't even remember what the game was, and I would never be able to describe it.
Also, it wasn't a lady in a dress, it was just a lady. Okay. I was remembering it wrong even after having
one of the games, like one of the not major games that I played during the PS2 Xbox era that's really stuck with me is the first person shooter called 13.
Never heard of it.
13 is based on a comic book, and you can tell because they replicated the art style almost perfectly.
Oh, I know what game you're talking about. I remember that. Never knew it was called 13, though.
Yep, it's called 13. Specifically, the Roman numeral 13.
I have a
fun fact. There's a PC version. It's panned because it's an Xbox console port, but it exists.
Yeah, and they did away. I think they did like a remaster of it recently. They took away the art style,
which is lame because that's like 80% of what made the game so cool.
Like it even had like comic book transitions and shit.
Yeah, that was what made that game so cool and why it stuck around in my memory.
I remember that.
Then the game that kind of did the rhythm action game thing long before things like Crypt of the Necrodancer and Metal Hellsinger. First Mummy.
Not familiar with that one.
Which also got a re-release recently with mod tools.
Wow.
But yeah, so here's a cutscene that like lived rent-free in my head for far too long, with only remembering the cutscene itself and nothing else.
This is a strange looking game.
It is. And
I can see where you thought it was a dress.
Yeah. And like, the game is very, very god dang it.
God, what?
Like, it has so many little secrets everywhere. It's like, what the fuck?
No wonder people love the PC port of Sphinx so much. It was made by Eurocom. Now, that is a good port.
Don't you love it when the Shadow Man hangs out with the deer?
What was the prompt?
Cursed trail cam. None of them are cursed. They're just mildly unnerving. At least one of them is.
Well, I don't think that the AI can understand the nuance behind something being cursed.
True. What would you say? What prompt would you want to give me for a horror? Like something that's fear. Like I want something creepy.
I don't.
SCP Foundation trail cam.
Okay.
SCP-173 trail cam.
Ew.
I'll come back in a half hour when it loads.
Speaking of a half hour, it's almost time to wrap up.
Yeah.
That was a fast few minutes.
Yeah.
It was.
Alrighty then. Where am I? I'm here. So, do you want me to wait till this trail cam loads, or
No, it's gonna take forever.
wrapping it up? It does. Oh, perfect timing! I found the waypoint. I'm done. Yay!
Yay.
Yay.
Oh, I love it. I was about to say we have to struggle to find this portal to go back to the rogue camp. It's the dark woods. The dark woods suck. For finding that waypoint. Literally walk 2 feet up and I find it. So with that said, does anyone want to post or not post, but promote anything before we wrap it up?
Buy Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series.
Play Protochroma, play Arknights.
Anything else?
No.
Everyone should go watch my new series.
Ooh.
I'll promote that. I will promote my own thing for once.
Wow.
Go watch Coralmon because it's actually really good. And yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a like and share it around. It helps us all grow this channel, and we all do appreciate it being smaller channels.
Giga was typing.
Good links. Huh?
Giga
I was just gonna.
Oh.
I was just gonna post.
I think those are wise words to end this on.
What?
Post.
Alright, bye everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.